Dudes, what's up? All right, let's see here. We're running a little test. This is your main man, Frank Kern, coming to you. Sounds a little creepy. Coming to you from the bedroom. It's not meant to sound creepy. All right, so let's see if this is working, man. Might be. Might be actually working. Well, I got warnings. Hang on. Transcoding something, something, something. All right, that looks like that's working. Totally crazy. Wrong keyframe interval for Facebook. All right, so Facebook might be weird. Hard to tell. Okay, listen, y'all let me know. Sorry to be ignoring you here for a minute. Y'all let me know if you can hear me okay and if you can see me okay. I'm testing a new service that was offered. I'm going to talk to you from the floor. It's a little more comfortable. A new service that was offered by an app I like to use called StreamYard, which is pretty cool. Terrible video quality, guys. There we go. StreamYard, which is a pretty cool app. I'm here still in our big empty box that we live in Miami. Still waiting on furniture to arrive. Should arrive tomorrow. Rugs and stuff, etc. At least we got a mattress. That's good. But what we're trying to do right now is live stream to YouTube and to the how do you say in English there? To the Facebooks as well. So, all right, looks like I can see your comments. No way, dude. Okay, apparently this is working. All right, so this is really, really awesome. Clearly, you know, we're going to talk about intent-based branding and how well it's working, etc. One of the cool things about it is you can take the content that you put on Facebook, for example, and then reuse it on YouTube and Instagram. And one of the coolest things that we always dreamt, like, man, this would be awesome, is if you could go live on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time. And apparently you can now. So if you go to StreamYard.com, that's the tool I'm using, they've just released an integration with a service called Restream.io that relatively easy to set up. I did it myself, and some bitch, look at us. Here we are, man. So yeah, I see my man Chris Clan here and Fabio Pellegrino, I think, there from YouTube, and then I see all you guys from Facebook. This is bonkers. All right, let's see if I can bring you on there. Look at that. All right, so that comment that you're seeing right there means that dude's watching on YouTube. Crazy. All right, I wonder how I make that go away. No idea. There's my man Alan Gomez from YouTube. Check this out, Keith Carpenter. Nuts. Super cool. Okay, so anyway, that's technical dorkiness out of the way. Again, the app is called Restream.io, and it's integrated with StreamYard. And I'm just coming to you from my laptop right here in my bedroom. See this couch? We had this couch custom made. And then notice that it's just a thing with no fancy cover. That's because the very day that it was delivered to our home, we took our daughter, Katya, to the beach, which you see out there. And it wore her out, and she fell asleep on this sofa and peed on it. So the damn cover has been at the dry cleaner since that day. Okay, so what I wanted to do is really just answer any questions I could about how to sell more stuff online using really social media or anything else. Ultimately, well, I don't know, we'll see. But probably a lot of my recommendations are going to return to a technique called intent-based branding. This has been working incredibly well for us. If you want to learn how to do that, go to kernclass.com. There's like a 20-something minute deep dive tutorial on it. So as I'm answering questions, and if you're like, wonder how he does that, just go to kernclass.com. You don't have to opt in for anything or whatever. It's just a tutorial. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see if we got some questions. I'm totally blown away. This stuff is working. What's happening, Christopher Harper? My man, look at that. I can just put your comments up from multiple channels. Look at this, from Night Required Field. What an interesting last name. That's pretty cool. All right. So Tim, you're getting echo. Might be the room here because it's all marble and glass, but it could be tech. So we'll see. Anyone else hearing an echo, let me know. Okay, let's see here. My main man, Michael, he says, just want to let you know I did a little test with the intent-based branding. I got to tell you, the results were better than expected. Well, hot diggity. Guys, if you want to learn how to do it, go to kernclass.com. Again, I guess, you know, doesn't cost anything to watch that tutorial there. I don't even need your email address. You can just watch it. Okay, let's see. So let's see if we can get to like some work here and answer some questions about how to sell more stuff. All right, so again, the software I'm using to do this, I'm just on my MacBook Pro laptop. I'm using a web-based software thingy called StreamYard. like stream in your yard, StreamYard.com, and it is integrating with something called Restream.io, which is allowing me to go to Facebook and YouTube at the same time, which is totally blowing my freaking mind right now. That's awesome. Let's see the stats, by the way. 18 watched on YouTube. I'm on Restream. Let me see if I can share my screen with you and just show you this. I've never tried to do that. Yeah, okay. So hang on. We're about to see like Inception. All right. So, oh God, yeah, that looks weird. Okay. So see all this thing? This is StreamYard right here, and then this is Restream, and this is showing me what's going on both platforms. Apparently, I have 21 watching on YouTube, which is crazy because I never really do anything on YouTube. I don't know what I'm doing, and 120 watching on Facebook. I got these warning things right here. Don't know what they mean. Didn't read the directions. Ain't gonna read the directions. All right, so that's the app. That. All right, let me get rid of that thing. There we go. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see what we can help, man. Let's see what we can help y'all with. Hello, Olga from Philadelphia. Nice to see y'all. Okay, this is great. So I love these. All right, love it. Any question that ever has to do with a local business is so great, because when you have like a traditional business, like a local beef jerky shop or a painting contracting company or a car dealership or whatever, intent-based branding is just like it's like the nuclear bomb, but nuclear bombs are so destructive. So like if nuclear bombs were cool, it would be like the nuclear bomb. It's very, very effective. So you got to always say, it doesn't matter what the business is, right? So the purpose of intent-based branding is to drive people into your sales process already liking you, feeling like they know you, and wanting what you got, okay? So the first thing we got to understand is sales and marketing, two totally different entities, okay? And that's a big distinction to make, because so many people trying to make the marketing do the job of the sales process. So let's say your local beef jerky shop, and the way you sell people stuff is they come in, they try some of the beef jerky, and they're like, some bitch, this is real good. Give me 10 pounds of it, or whatever. We don't want to mess with that. We don't want to set up an opt-in page and build a complicated funnel, because now we're changing your sales process. Instead, all we want to do is get more people to go into your shop, try some beef jerky, and go, some bitch. That's exactly how they say it. You know, they try the beef jerky, they say, some bitch, and then they order 10 pounds of it. So what you want to do is put yourself in the mind of the consumer who would maybe be thinking about or be in the market for buying something like beef jerky. And I'm really happy this question is about something as seemingly mundane and random as beef jerky, because if we can make it work for that, you know, we can make them work for pretty much anything. So a lot of reasons people would eat beef jerky. Number one, paleo people who are ketogenic, people who want a snack, but they don't want to have a Snickers bar or whatever, because it might give them a, you know, make them too fat or too skinny or whatever the hell, you know. So that could be one reason why someone might like it. Another reason why someone might like it is because pretty freaking good. Another reason someone might be interested in it is because they're foodies or whatever. So let's take the foodie approach, right? A lot of people are like seriously into food, you know, and as evidenced by like the plethora of cooking shows that are on TV. We were watching one the other day. It was like a British baking show. It was so great, man, because their accents are so awesome, and they were making cookies, and they were calling them biscuits. It just made me want to eat all of them. But anyway, so let's say we're doing intent-based branding for that. What you want to do is educate your potential consumer on all the cool stuff they could do with beef jerky, such as creating recipes that have that beef jerky in it, you know, stew with beef jerky in it, beef jerky chopped up in salad dressings, etc. Then you could also appeal to the paleo crowd by, you know, talking about how the beef jerky's got the right amount of fats, the right amount of salts, etc., to replace, you know, traditional protein bars and all of that kind of stuff. And the thing you want to do is, no matter what the content says, so I'm just kind of spitballing here because I don't know a damn thing about beef jerky, right? But the thing you want to do, no matter what the content says, is you always want to drive them back to your sales process. So if your sales process, that someone comes to your store, you don't want to make your call to action like, hey, go to a website or whatever. You want to say, hey, if you're really into beef jerky, just come on down and you can sample all the kinds that we have. You're really going to like it. We're over here in the corner of First Street and Broadway, across from the movie theater. Come on down and see us. Tell me you saw me on Facebook and I'll give you a hat or something like that. And that's your call to action, and that should do just fine for a local beef jerky shop. That was a hell of a question, man. Good work then. Sally O'Connor saying, hey, what app are you using again? Using one called StreamYard. All right, that's allowing me just to talk to the laptop and go live on Facebook and have like the little graphic and stuff on there and all that stuff. And then StreamYard is now integrating with something called Restream.io, which is allowing me to go over to YouTube simultaneously. So we're hitting both platforms right now, which is pretty cool. You know, I talked to a dude named Ben today. I'm blanking on Ben's last name. Sorry, Ben. He's real good at YouTube and Instagram, and apparently I do YouTube totally wrong. So I'm going to start doing a better job of it. Okay, let's say my main man, Michael Ruiz, says, how do you effectively scale up ad spend to increase revenue? Well, you do it incrementally. Okay, so here's the deal. First of all, you know, let's assume that the ads are profitable or break even or whatever. Even if they're break even, in many cases, it makes sense to do it because you're still getting in front of the minds of the people who are going to be buying from you in about a month. I don't know if you've seen the videos and the content that I posted, but the majority of the money is not in the people who are ready to buy today. The majority of your money is in the amount of people who are thinking about buying something in the next 30 or 45 days. And the more they see you and the more they like you, by the time that buying time comes, you're going to be the person they go to. All right. So let's just take as a given or you know, whatever, that the ads are already working. So now you want to scale up and you want to spend more money on ads. This is where stuff can go wrong pretty quickly because of the social media algorithms. If let's say you're spending $100 a day and you're like, dude, I'm spending $100 a day and making $300 a day. Screw it. I want to spend $1,000 a day and see if I can make $3,000 a day. If you jump up from 100 to 1,000, it's going to break. And the reason why is because the algorithm, especially if you're running conversion-based ads, might not be the case with this new theory that we're soon to be testing where we're going to try to treat Facebook video ads like TV commercials. This is theory is the key word. Testing is the key word. So let's just assume, right, that you're doing you know, conversion-based ads. If you go and you say, hey man, I'm spending 100, I want you to start spending 1,000 a day or whatever, I'm just pulling the numbers out of the air, the Facebook algorithm is going to say, okay, I'm just going to start showing this thing to a whole lot of people. And then when I start getting more conversions, I'll show it to more people that are like the ones that converted. And usually that's like 3 or 4 days of just awful. Because it's like throwing darts, you know, it's just throwing things going, all right, well, let's show it to these dudes and show the ad to these dudes. And we'll see they're kind of in the gigantic 1 million+ person audience you're targeting. Let's hope they're buyers. And you end up getting hit pretty hard. So you got two choices. Choice number one is to be like, all right, screw it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get knocked around a little bit for 3 or 4 days because once all that settles down, now you're at scale. And, you know, ads are always up and down, by the way. So you're never like done, you know. So that's option number one is just to like suck it up and be like, all right, screw it. I'm just going to buy time. Option number two is you want to raise your ad spend, you know, about 10% or so per day and just watch it and make sure it doesn't start to break. And that's usually what people do that have better financial sense than me. Because a lot of times I get, you know, impatient. I'm like, screw it, dude, let's just hammer it. And let's see what happens, you know, and in many cases, what happens is very bad for a couple days, followed by, all right, yay, it's working, followed by, damn it, it quit working, and then we have to redo it, which is typical of social media advertising. Less so, though, when you do intent-based branding because you have such a well-established audience. By the way, I've said, like, intent-based branding a million times. If you want to know how to do it, there's got 3 pillars to it. Pillar number one is creating organic content like I'm doing right now, you know, so I'm live and it's 7:20 something on, I think, what's today, the 12th? Is today Tuesday? Yeah, today's Tuesday, I think the 12th of March. So you know, you make organic content, and the content always does 3 things. It provides value to the viewer, it deliberately builds goodwill with the audience, and it makes offers. So that's pillar number one, which is organic content. Pillar number 2 is you take the organic content that you're making and then you reuse it across multiple platforms. And it's based on this idea that everything you create is an asset in your business that can continue to do stuff for you, such as bring you revenue, et cetera. And so that's pretty good, right? And then pillar number 3 is an optional pillar, and that's advertising. So while I'm over here talking about like, hey, let's go from $100 a day to $1,000 a day or whatever, I don't want that to freak you out and make you think like, oh God, I got to spend $1,000 a day on ads or even $100 a day on ads. You don't. That advertising pillar is optional. Once you get to the point you're considering it, it's probably meaning things are going pretty good. So at that stage, you're like, all right, I'm going to give this a shot because things are going pretty good. You know, if you want to see a really good overview of how the whole thing works, just go to kernclass.com. Again, there's 20-something minute video on that web page. Nothing to it, not difficult. It's not too boring. Hopefully you don't have to opt in for it. At the end of the video, I'll say, hey, you might want to take this class I have. It's really awesome. If you want to take it, you should take it. And if you don't, then don't. No big deal. All right. Okay. Let's see here. My man, Andre Calderon says, why do you avoid including a call to action on your branding video ads? Isn't it harder for people to type currentclass.com instead of just clicking on a link? Dude, okay. So this is part of, well, this is the reason why we're now about to engage in a pretty heavy-duty experiment. So intent-based branding, originally, I got the idea for it in July of last year. And I never made any offers of any kind in the content videos. And the idea was, let's put out good content. If they watch that, let's retarget them with more content that makes an offer, which it worked really, really well. And it was also kind of stupid because it was like, well, why not just make offers in the good content anyway? Like, if you're helping people and you make an offer at the same time in a low key way, like, you know, hey, if you want to see how this works, go to currentclass.com, right? Then no one's going to, you're not going to damage the relationship. So when I started doing that and testing it, I went and I bought really easy to remember domain names. My first one was frankkernbook.com because I got started doing this promoting my book, and then I bought currentclass.com. Both of them exorbitantly expensive, you know, $3, $4 each per domain, like nothing, you know. And what we have found now is that the majority of traffic comes from people typing it in, which is crazy, right? So people literally hear the word currentclass.com a million times. They'll see it. Shouldn't I wonder if I can even put it in the comments here. If y'all would put it in the comments, I'd appreciate it. I forgot to do it in the title, but they'll see it, you know, in the transcripts or in the comments or whatever, and they freaking remember it and they type it in. And dude, I don't know why, you know, but it's, here, let me get this thing off there because it's covering me up here. I have no idea why, but dude, it's across every promotion we've ever done with this method, whether it's for the currentcall.com domain or currentclass.com domain or frankkernbook.com. Doesn't matter. Hands down, we get more traffic from people remembering the domain name than clicking on it. So if we take that back to the way social media advertising works, then we know that if we run an engagement ad where the Facebook's objective is just to get someone to watch and engage with the video, it's a lot cheaper exposure than an ad where we're trying to get a click or whatever. So we're actually getting, it looks like, you know, and we're going to be like somewhat scientifically testing it over the next 10 days or so. But it looks like we're getting cheaper and better qualified traffic without putting a click here to do something in the ad, which again, just stumbled over that, you know, just totally stumbled over it. But I did kind of a long, somewhat dangerously rambling post last night about it, where I think the future of internet marketing is going to be that the telephone, I was going to hold mine up for illustration, but I've lost it. What the hell is it? Oh, well, the telephone, there it is. This thing right here, like no one knows what this is yet. The telephone is the new TV. And if you think about it, TV ads are really what built some of the biggest brands or biggest companies in history. And now what you're watching right now is essentially like a long form television commercial, because I've made an offer like a million times. I'll do it again. Hey, if you want to learn how to do this stuff, go to currentclass.com. It's pretty cool. So I just did it. So what you're watching right now is basically like a long form TV commercial. We've been on for 18 minutes and 39 seconds or whatever now. And to get someone to see that is just like, it's not pennies on the dollar, it's fractions of pennies on the dollar from what it is to run like traditional TV. But here's the deal. We don't really watch television commercials anymore as much anyway, but dude, we never leave the house without this thing. You know, we're glued to this 24/7. A lot of people sleep with this by the bed. I consciously don't sleep with it by the bed anymore, but you did for years. Like literally had to be like, okay, dude, put the damn phone away, you know, and I put it in the bathroom. You know, and so like never leave the house without it, you know, people looking at it where they're freaking driving. So we have the situation where probably we could see an era for people who are very, very like on top of their game, paying attention, where you don't have to run like conversion-based ads as much. You're still trying to get people to buy stuff, but you're just saying, hey, go to this website, and you're just saying it. And if you think about it, like you can't click a TV ad, you can't click a radio ad, but they still worked, you know. And now we don't use them because, number one, they're very, very expensive. And number two, not that many people watch TV or listen to the radio, comparatively speaking. But they still they still are effective. And it's like we're getting them for fractions of pennies on the dollar now. And if someone watches the damn ad, we can retarget them with more ads. So it's like this whole freaking wave of unbelievable coolness, basically, in terms of what we have the opportunity to do. Super long answer to your question, man. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. Thank you, Eric. Okay. All right. So Jeremy says, looks like YouTube is like 12 seconds ahead. Might be. It's it's my first time really trying to use these two things, and I'm pretty sure I'm doing it wrong, but I'm amazed that it's working. I'm going to switch over and have a look here. Yeah, all right. So it shows 39 people watch it on YouTube. Thank you all. That's crazy, because I have like 10% of my YouTube audience. My YouTube audience is 10% as big as my Facebook audience, and 124 on Facebook. But I'm getting warnings on both of them from this restream thing. So apparently I'm not doing it right. But what are you going to do? Maybe I'll have to read the directions or something crazy. Really? But hey, whatever. Let's see here. Okay. Let me scroll down. Okay, Alejandro says, what's up, man? How do I increase my reach on Facebook Live? I have 30,000 followers. How do I get a massive reach on Live like you? All right, dude, the name of the game here is engagement, all right? So Facebook will reward engagement. And the best way, all right, so let me really lay it out well. If people engage with you, meaning if they watch a video, comment on a video, share a video, like a video, whatever, then Facebook is going to be like, hey, that dude is giving people a good user experience. And that's all they care about is user experience. So the longer someone will stay on the platform, meaning the longer somebody stays on Facebook because of you or whatever, the cooler Facebook will be to you, meaning the more people they will start showing your stuff to. So we accept that to be true, that engagement equals more reach. Then you realize that, well, you ask yourself the question of, well, what kind of stuff gets the most engagement? And the answer is Facebook Live. So the short answer to doing this is to go live on Facebook all the time. It's not about followers, by the way. It has nothing to do with the amount of followers you have, just to be clear. So you're great. You got a great start with 30,000. If you're doing this for a couple of weeks and you've only got 32,000 or 30,050, means nothing. What you really want to be looking for is the reach and the amount of views that you get from it. And that will go up if you do it consistently. All right. Okay. Let's see, my man David Dyer, loving the Legacy Library. Thank you, man. All righty. Let's see. Seems like some of these are, how do you say in English there? Duplicates, which is weird. Okay. Let's see. My man Ben Boy says, how well does this work for CBD? I'd say pretty well, but as a marketer, should I really put my face on it? I work with a bunch of brands, so how would you work that out? All right, so I think what you're really saying is, hey, dude, I want to sell CBD stuff, but I'm not sure I want people to know it's me selling it because I might go, reefer madness, stay away from the CBD or else they'll listen to the jazz music and do all kinds of other reefer-related things. So what you can do is put someone else's face on it, or not care and put your face on it, because cannabidiol oil I don't think it's ever been illegal, and nor is it illegal now. It is an extremely beneficial medicine for people. And so, yeah, one of those two, but it would certainly work. I mean, social is huge for alternative medical stuff, really, really big, especially organically, because people who are into alternative medical, especially CBD-related stuff. So if y'all don't know what that is, CBD is a compound in hemp, which and marijuana is hemp as well, but it doesn't get you high. But it does have anti-inflammatory properties, anti-anxiety properties, anti-seizure properties, a little bit of research suggesting that it can promote almost like a suicidal cell thing going on in cancer tumors. So a lot of good stuff about this particular medicine. So people who are into it are like really into it. And dude, whenever you can tap into a movement that's big on social media, you got an advantage that most wouldn't, because people are so rabid about it and they're so rabidly in favor of it, my good man. Okay, let's see here. Man, this is so crazy. All right, let's see. I'm going to take Uno Mas and I'm going to see if my son will hang out with me and watch Captain Marvel. He's been a little bit of a problem. He hasn't wanted to watch Captain. Man, there's so many comments on this thing, dude. Crazy. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay, this is a good one from Grace Zazzaro. It's funny. I just had this conversation with my man Grant Cardone. Was it this morning? Days are running together. Yeah, I saw him in the gym this morning. I like got him to finally do a Facebook Live like from his phone. He's done them before, but they're doing a big promotion for this webinar. You can see it at cardonewebinar.com. Real good stuff. You know, I love Grant. I love all of this stuff. And he's my neighbor. And I like to give them unsolicited free marketing advice, which is the exact type of advice nobody wants to get, you know? So I'm like, let me tell you how to do your marketing. But I was like, dude, you got to go live on Facebook. Trust me, do this thing. And so he did. And the numbers in terms of the amount of views, the amount of shares, what was it? I looked at it last night. It was 3 times the amount of comments and double the amount of shares over any other post for the day. All right. Which was great, you know, and all of that's good. All of that's like exactly what you want to see happen. And it was because it was alive and it was shot authentically, you know, kind of like we're doing now, like not fancy or whatever. So he was like, all right, you know, and you got to really, to impress Grant Cardone ain't easy. So he's like, yeah, okay, whatever. I don't want to do it that much. And I'm like, dude, you know, you need to do it twice a day, every freaking day, especially leading up to this webinar. So my answer to you, Grace, is as many times as humanly possible. Frankly, I'm embarrassed for not doing it more than I have been. I should be doing it twice a day minimum. And the reason why is because we have found that the more you do it, the more good stuff happens, meaning the more you sell, number one, like the more traffic you get, the more engagement you get, the bigger your audiences get, the more goodwill you get, and the bigger your brand gets. So there's no argument against doing it as much as humanly possible, with the exception of you might not have the time. And I think that that's really a disguised way of saying, I'm not really sure what to talk about. What if I look stupid? I don't feel like it. All of those are valid, but they don't overcome or overpower the fact that we should do it as much as humanly possible. Now, there's more to intent-based branding than just going live. That's like that. Organic content is one of the 3 pillars. If you want to learn how to do it, again, go to kernclass.com. There's like a 20-something minute video tutorial where I got flow charts and everything, and I'm showing you our behind-the-scenes numbers. They're maybe 5 weeks old now, give or take. You know, the numbers have gotten better, but who cares, right? So go look at the flow charts, look at how I'm doing it. I talk about what to say, core messaging pillars, all of that kind of stuff in that tutorial. Again, it's at kernclass.com, and have a look at it. And y'all, thanks so much for watching, man. This has been killer. This was so easy. Once again, app I'm using to do this, StreamYard.com, integrated with Restream.io, is allowing me to go live on Facebook and YouTube right now simultaneously from my laptop. Looks like I'm running out of light here as well. Okay, thanks, homies. I'll see y'all later. Thank y'all for watching, and have a good rest of the evening. Take it easy.